I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV's after show for TLC's Dragnificent. I'm your host, Cody Epperson, and joined with me are three fabulous co-hosts. First, we have a lover of drag queens and wrestling, the sweet Brian Santos.
Hello, everyone. So excited for this show. Four of my favorite queens, plus wrestling in this episode. Love it. Can't wait to talk about it.
And we also have a sweet gal who does not wish to get married, but is still here with us, a Diamond.
Hello, everyone. Very, very cool episode. And I might add that I totally support marriage, but I don't think I'm that type of girl.
And then last but certainly not least, one of my favorite divas of all time, a Miss Jocelyn Jovan.
Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh, this show is so me. I'm so excited to talk about it with all of you. We are going to crush it.
Yes. And honestly, I'm so excited about this show. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about my panel. Let's get into it, guys. Tell me, what were your overall thoughts, a Diamond?
My overall thoughts were this is going to be so much fun. It's going to be very enlightening. It's going to be energetic, heartfelt. And the episode gave me all the feels. And that's what I really, really love about stuff like this. It gives you a different side to see how other people are living and what their struggles are and what their insecurities are. And then to go with them through that journey of being low to being high and hopeful and happy. And the show nailed it. And I loved that.
Heck yeah. Brian, what do you think?
Loved it so much. 100% echo what a Diamond said. It was so heartfelt. I was literally crying like maybe 2 or 3 times or more. It was so sweet. Loved seeing her confidence show out. I said it so many times. The wrestling was amazing. Shout out to Ray Jazz. Literally, I went on his IG like right when they showed up. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a new wrestling favorite man. And it was so fun. I loved it. So great episode so far.
Yeah.
Sweet. And Jocelyn, please tell us everything.
First of all, I'm sure all of us have fallen in love with that couple, Javi. And what's
cute?
First of all, he's the cutest. Like even when he dressed in drag to re-propose to her, he was just such a good sport. They honestly are such a lovable couple, and it was really exciting to see the queens help a bride in need. Because so many of us, you get engaged, you're not really in need of somebody to help you with wedding planning and picking out a dress, but she really needed the help because she just was battling herself, and we got to see that. So it was just really enjoyable to watch the queens interact with her and her fiance and just help them have a dream wedding. It was really cute on a budget at that. I loved it. It was so cute. Back home, East Coast. I'm from New York, so I like seeing them back in New York, helping
Your
her.
neighbor.
Yes, my neighbor, my Jersey neighbor. But yeah, this was such a good intro to what I know is about to be a fabulous show. And just, they touched on it a little, but to just see the extended birth of what RuPaul's Drag Race was able to turn into, because we know all these queens, we're already fans of these queens, and now to see them on their own show just being fabulous, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I love it. I'm so excited to see the future of this show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. And I'm totally right there with you. Like the couple is so cute. Javi, and my handwriting is so bad. Is it Corinne or Corrine?
Corinne,
yeah.
Okay, all of a sudden I'm like, I write like a child. But it was just so lovely seeing her evolve and seeing him supporting her. And these queens are all so fabulous, and they're so supportive, even in every step of the process. They're so supportive. And what really got me thinking, because this episode was about them getting married, I want to know, like, Corinne talks about this a lot, is what she defines as being a bride. And I kind of wanted to hear what you guys thought about that, because just from our opening, I'm realizing we have so many different walks of life just between the four of us, and I'm interested to what that means to you guys. So please, Brian, enlighten me.
Yeah, I think it's definitely super open to interpretation. Like they said in the show, everyone has their own definition and what they feel is what's going to happen on their wedding day. She obviously had so many different perspectives from other people, and I think what the queens were really trying to show her was that the main idea of being a bride or getting married is really what you see in yourself. And that was what she was struggling with the whole episode. So that's kind of how I see it as well. I just see as this is my day. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show up and I'm going to be the best version of myself. And with my partner, so it's definitely just that whole idea of just making sure you love yourself and love the person you're with, as opposed to letting anyone else affect that.
Excellent.
Yeah, I love that. And just sitting here and talking and being the girl who doesn't ever think or want to get married, I related with her a lot in the sense that she never thought or understood why women got so giddy and they were so happy and they're like, this is my dream day. It just didn't resonate with her, and it doesn't resonate with me. And in that moment when she was crying because she found that wedding dress that made her look beautiful, and she finally saw it as well, saw herself as being beautiful, she started to cry, and she was crying over her wedding dress, which before she would have thought is so ridiculous. And in that moment, she knew exactly what it felt like to appreciate this tradition and this day and the dress and the family being around, like, and just be completely in love with that. And so, I think I'm going to be relating a lot to her if I ever do get married. It'll be like, me right now, I'm kind of skeptical and like, yeah, it's not my vibe. But I think when the day arrives, I'm probably going to love all of the things that happens on your wedding day and everything that happens before your wedding day. So I might be just a stereotypical bride, being someone who's very skeptical of it on the outside. So that might be me as well.
I mean, well, I'm engaged, and
Oh,
Congrats.
Right?
yeah, I've been like trying to reach for my ring, but I forgot to put on because I'm like, oh, and we're talking about a wedding episode, and I didn't really have my ring on. So
she's like trying to grab it.
I'm engaged, I swear.
Yeah. So actually, wedding planning is really, really stressful, and you don't really really get it until you're in it. And especially once they pop the question, every time somebody talks to you, it's, well, so when are you getting married? Or what are you going to wear? Like all these questions that it's like, now I have to figure all this out. In addition to, you really do want to be the most beautiful girl in the world on your wedding day. Like you do. Everybody does. Like, why would you want to be a basic bride or a mediocre bride? It's like, no, if I'm going to get married, like I want to feel beautiful. So if you're already battling anything internally, that can affect you with even just in the simplest thing of going wedding dress shopping, because you're having all these thoughts. So all your insecurities will come to play, in addition to the fact that she has all these cameras on her. Her family's with her, the queens are with her. It was, I could sense she was getting overwhelmed, because you saw it at first when she just was being really picky with the dresses at first. Like, no, I don't like this. I don't like this. And then finally, when it was like, she couldn't deny it anymore, that it's like, I can't do this. And then she had a little meltdown, but I totally get it, because it's stressful. And for me, I had started wedding planning, and it just was too much that I just was like, I just went cold turkey. I stopped wedding planning because I was just, it's too much. And then now the quarantine.
You ghosted.
Yeah, it's the quarantine it's a perfect excuse right now with the quarantine, because it's like, oh, well, I don't really have to do anything. But when I say I have nothing planned, I have a Zola account and a Knot account, and that's as far as it goes. I have nothing planned. So kudos to Corinne for at least sharing that experience on TV, because it's a lot.
Oh yeah. And because for me, like, it was so funny watching Corinne struggle, because it made me like, I'm very single at the moment, and like, I like the idea of being with somebody and having somebody, and I know my family would love to see me get married, but like, I've never been that person who's like, oh, when I get married, it's going to be here, and he's going to be like this, and I'm going to be like this.
Right,
and
right.
I've never had that dream wedding planned out in my head. And so it became very interesting to me with Corinne's definition of a bride, which is very traditional, and she feels like she doesn't fit into that mold. And which helps me segue into my other topic, which was obviously the show is about helping people, but it's also about these queens. And something that kind of made I wish I didn't feel this way, but I also guess I'm a little proud I felt this way. When Corinne asked the queens not to come to the ceremony in drag, honestly, it made my stomach drop.
Yeah, me too.
I
was like, they're going to say no, right?
Right? And they kind of gave us a hint of it in the preview. Like you kind of were like, oh, is this really what's about to happen? And then it happens. And so I've been kind of wrestling with that idea in my head, but I want to hear what you guys think about that one. Jocelyn, tell us.
Oh, okay. Well, oh my gosh, I'm glad we all agree on the same page. It
seemed like we all had the same thought.
Yeah, I think it kind of rubs everyone the wrong way, but at the same time, I understand when that portion of the wedding, when the actual ceremony, when they ended up coming in and just you saw the vibe, I could only imagine what it would have been like if they were in drag. I did like what they did with just incorporating the drag into the reception, but at the same time, it's one of those things where first I was thinking, why would she sign up to incorporate the queens into her wedding if she knew that she was getting married at a Catholic church and it would have been a conflict of interest? Sure. But I thought, okay, at least we did get to see Javier dress in drag when he proposed. So it kind of took away a resentment I was feeling towards them off of that. Like, and I was happy that they shared that on camera too. Don't hide that. Let everyone see, because it's a conversation that needs to be had. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a conversation that needs to be had. Yes, we understand religious observances, but you signed up to be on a show where drag queens are going to help you make over yourself for a special event. And then you ask them not to come and drag to your wedding. It's just, to me, it was like a slap in the face, but I can also understand from a religious standpoint.
Yeah, I agree with you. When she asked, what was the name of the queen who was talking to her when she, Phoebe,
yeah.
Okay. I mean, it showed so much poise and
yes,
understanding on her, on BB, because when she said that, I instantly was like, there's no way she's gonna say yes to that, because clearly it's about the show. The show is about these drag queens helping them be confident like drag queens are, and to love themselves like they do. And so like I was really shocked that he said, of course we'll come in our normal clothes, whatever. And then when he further explained why he was okay with her going in normal clothes and not drag, I really respected it, and I loved it. And I loved that it's when a drag queen is dressed up, the show is all about them. That's the point. And I think if they were in drag, that it probably would take a little bit from the bride and groom and their day. And so I really respected his, like, what he said. And I loved that he had the poise and the understanding of Corinne to give the proper answer in that situation. But I was a little shocked that she even had the audacity to ask.
Yes.
I was like,
I agree. I definitely echo 100% what you guys said. Just to play devil's advocate, though, I do appreciate the realness of it, because I feel like that would have happened like in a real situation. Like if someone, like a drag queen, a regular drag queen went up and kind of helped their friend do this, they would expect their friend to not show up for whatever the case may be. So what I appreciated about it, even though it did not sit well with me, what I appreciated about it as opposed to a show like Queer Eye, where everything is kind of like perfect, like it's like picture perfect on screen, like it doesn't really show the bad sides of it. What I appreciated with this show was something like that, where it was kind of a negative, or even when she cried and she didn't like the dresses, it was very, very real. So I love that part of it so much, and it didn't sit well with me, but it was definitely interesting to see that portrayed on screen.
Yeah, dang, you guys freaking like got exactly how I was feeling, and like went through the motions, and like I feel appeased, because like I totally I felt there was such an audacity of even asking, putting yourself in the situation of being on a show where drag queens are coming to help you. But then I see like the queens were very humble about it and like chill about it, and then I see that like even in any any given ceremony, you'd be like, yo, like, this is my day. Like, I get like this is what you're comfortable in, but like that's a look. Like
It's a look.
drag is
Yes.
a look. It is a show. It's always show stopping. So it's like,
But did you
to do that at
see
somebody's wedding is a lot.
the
And,
way the BB walked in with his suit? It just was like,
I felt like BB did
Yeah.
that. Was like, I may not be able to be in drag, but I'm gonna make
gonna
a
be-
statement. Like,
yeah.
you knew what she was doing.
love it.
But then at the same time, like I grew up in a Catholic Christian household and like went to church all the time. And so I don't necessarily agree, but I respect the traditional aspect of it. It's like we're in a church. But one thing that I struggled with thinking was like, well, maybe like you don't need to say because we're in the church, because we don't want you to do that because it's not what is supported. Maybe just going along lines of, hey, this is my day, like in saying kind of what has been said, but then at the same time, like then that's not authentic.
right.
It's just like,
And honestly, it would have made her look like bad.
Bridezilla,
I think,
yeah.
you know, I would blame it on the church too. Like, yeah, religion is whack, isn't it? You know, like I'm like, but yeah. So, but I get that.
So yeah, it's like the situation actually was handled very gracefully by all parties, but it was just like a moment that really like the whole, and that's the thing, the whole show, I was smiling ear to ear the whole time. I was like, this is so great. Even like the cheesy moments, I'm like, this is great. I love this. But that was
that
like
moment, it was like,
I was like, I lost my breath.
But that's crazy. Why I'm happy that they left it in, because of course this show is representing diversity and inclusion and everyone having a seat at the table. So when you see something like that, you know, we're all like giddy, like, oh, excited, the drag queens, they look fabulous, weddings. And then that moment of reality to remind you of what it's still out here in the world that we live in. And, you know, it's really up to you of how you want to move forward, you know, and how you want to make sure that people feel included in the spaces that you're creating. So I appreciated that.
And you're exactly right. And to piggyback on that, imagine if BB would have totally taken a different route and said, honey, we're queens and we're going to be wherever we want to go and we're going to dress. And, you know, I mean, who knows if they would have even put it in the show? Who knows if we would have been able to see the realness of any of that if BB went in a different direction. So I think it is the direction she went was so perfect, because not only can we have a conversation about it, but we can have a respectful conversation about how we can understand both sides. And I think that was all BB, and I love that. And it went down perfectly, and I'm glad we're having the conversation about it, and I'm happy that it turned out beautifully. And in the end, it just was like a husband in drag and he's proposing to her again, you know, it like well-rounded, full circle beautifulness.
That's actually a really excellent point you bring up, a Diamond, because I was thinking about that too. It's like, I mean, definitely this panel we're obviously a progressive group, but it doesn't change the fact that there are people who think differently than us, and it doesn't mean that they're wrong. It just means that they have a different mentality, and we might see it one way and they see another, and it's there's no saying who's right and who's wrong. Definitely. So I think the four of us have our thoughts,
and it's about coming to a common ground, you know,
exactly.
Where can we see each other.
And then and that you actually helped me. You maybe want to help me segue into, I want to talk about her husband Javi and just what he has done and what he did for the show and for this episode and for her. So just, I mean, obviously he was so supportive. I would just want to hear what you guys think about him. Maybe you caught something I didn't, but he is just so worth mentioning. So a Diamond, please tell me about Javi.
Javi is Prince Charming in WrestleMania gear. Like, he is the sweetest person, absolutely is in love with this woman and is in love with her body and who she is and her strength and her sensitivities and her, you know, her delicateness that's inside of her. And he would scream it from the mountaintop. Every time we were talking to him, he was like, I love her. Like, she looks amazing. Like, he is just so gung-ho for her. And I love that. And I loved that there's a whole there is a whole world out there of people who actually fucking love each other. You know, they're not in it for the wrong reasons, and they're not, you know, and it's equal love. And I just love that I got to see that. And Javier is such an amazing, she picked an amazing man, and she's an amazing girl. And I think it works out perfectly. And he is, you can tell he's like a huge support for her, because she that is something she struggles with. The way she looks and herself not looking the same as other women is something she struggles with, and he just is completely baffled by the idea. And I think that helps her love herself and love him, and, you know, just have a strong relationship between the two of them. So he's amazing.
Yes. I loved all his interactions with the queens, because like it just showed how open-minded he is and just open to do anything. Like even when they first walked into his house, he's like, "Oh my gosh, how are you?" when he kissed her cheek. I'm like, I love this. It was just so sweet. He was just, like I said, so open to everything. And of course he did the drag proposal, which was so iconic.
Right.
So he was just such a great man. And echoing 100% what you said, Diamond, like he obviously loves her so much, like unconditional love, thinks she's just bomb.com.org.gov, and I love it.
What's the term? Toxic masculinity. That's like the new thing. So
Yeah,
like he
opposite.
totally shut that down. You know, like he's a wrestler, clearly a heterosexual male, loves his girl. They live together, but he also is comfortable being around drag queens, comfortable letting them put makeup on him, comfortable putting on women's clothes in a way. And even when did you notice when he proposed, like he kind of changed his voice? So it was a mix of like some feminine, masculine vibes I was getting from him when he would, cause what's her name? Corinne Mink, her wrestling name. He's like,
yes,
Corinne Mink, come right here.
Right?
Yes, it was just so super cute. And I love seeing that. Like I know me for one, you know, majority of like my closest friends, they're all gay, and like my man, he would always come with me to the pride parades in New York and hang out with my friends. And you want to see more of that from heterosexual men. Like you want to see more of that, because it's like, you know, what's the issue? You know, especially like you like who you like, and just because they like men, that don't mean they like you, boo. They have a type.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. So it was really good to just see him counteract that toxic masculinity, especially when right now it's a big part of the conversation. So it was great to see that tackled in the first episode.
It was a great first episode.
Right? I was like super into it, and just like, oh man, I've just lost it. Justin, you touched on something that made me really excited, and I forgot it. It might come to me.
Like the way he touched on the masculine, feminine vibes during his, because I saw your face light up.
No, yes, it was that, and like it's just so refreshing to see him be like okay with like doing drag, and then also doing it on camera. That's going on like a streaming service that is seen everywhere,
and he's a wrestler.
And he's okay with that. Whereas like I'm in the LGBTQ community, and like I hate having even just a little bit of makeup on my face. Like, so like the fact that he's able to commit to that and do like a whole proposal, like he's an ally and a hero.
Yes, totally.
And a ding dang gem.
Ding dang.
But let's segue over to a Diamond. Do you have a special segment for us today? Yes.
Oh my gosh, I have such the cute special segment. Okay,
Yay.
So let me share my screen with everyone, and then I will explain it. Boopity boop. All right, do you guys see it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, everyone, you can play this at home as well. So there are 6 dresses up top, and there are 6 celebrities below. And the goal is to match that celebrity name with the dress you think that person wore on their wedding day. So I'll let you guys take it away because I know the answers.
I know the third is Kim K.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
I see it.
Brian, I think you should go for it. I think you know.
I feel like,
I'm a Kardashian fan, so I'm like, I know that's the
you'll nail this.
72 days. So
I think was A Serena?
Okay.
I think A was Serena. I think I'm thinking E Was it E or
Or
B
maybe-
was Priyanka? I'm
Okay.
totally
I'm
wrong.
wrong. Maybe E is
Wrong?
Kim K.
Or F is Gabrielle. F is Gabrielle, right?
D is
Okay.
definitely Kate Middleton.
You know,
All right. That's right.
D is Kate. D is Kate. Okay. Uh-huh.
Yes, D is Kate Middleton. Okay,
It gotta be a little bit.
C is Kim Kardashian. A is Serena Williams. So that would mean that B is Priyanka Chopra and
Okay.
F is Gabrielle Union.
Yeah.
Okay. And now what about what's 5? What's E? What's this one here?
I actually no. Okay, yeah. I think that is actually Priyanka.
Oh, that's
Um,
right.
Or maybe it's Kim. God, I'm stumped now. I thought I could have sworn C was Kim,
This
but
was
now
a
it
good
kind of
one.
looks like that video
This was
where
really
the
good.
viral video of Nick Jonas, like with their
Oh, yes,
super
guess
cute wedding.
none.
Okay, let's just call it right now. We'll get the
Yeah,
answer.
tell us the answers, please.
Okay. So, wedding dress number A belongs to Serena Williams. So you guys got that.
Yes.
We got that.
Wedding dress B belongs
That's Kim.
to Kim K. And you got Priyanka. That's her with Kanye. I was gonna do with Chris Humphries. But
Oh, see, I was thinking of
Right.
That's why.
We couldn't keep up with which wedding you were referring to.
I was like, I thought this was B wedding.
I think that C
Um,
is J-Lo. That's my guess.
You think C is J-Lo?
Yeah.
Okay, well
Oh,
C is Priyanka.
Oh, okay.
D is Kate Middleton. So you guys got that one right.
Yes.
And then E is J-Lo.
That was,
Oh, okay.
Which wedding was that?
This was the wedding to the
The dancer?
The dancer. Yeah, yeah.
Wait,
Oh
they
my
got
God.
married? I didn't even know they got
Yes,
married.
they were married for
Woo!
like 1 month.
I thought Kim K was bad. I'm just kidding.
They're equally as great.
Yes, love them.
And then of course Gabrielle Union so you guys got that one too.
So we got
yeah.
F, and we got Serena and Gabrielle and Kate.
Yeah.
But you know what? You got to give
The
us
only one
credit.
I got right was Kim. I actually I kind of which is really weird because I don't follow them at all. So I actually, for some reason, seeing Kanye's arm, I was like, I think that one's her, and it didn't. But then I got the J-Lo one wrong.
You got to give us credit for getting Kim and J-Lo wrong because they've had like 3 weddings each.
Yeah.
True. Yes.
So
Yeah,
They
you
both
get a
got the
point for
amazing
that,
back. So
We didn't know which wedding was which, but that was such a good game. I love that.
Yeah,
one.
Diamond, that was
Yay.
excellent. Like,
Yay, good. I thought of it in the shower. Like I was worried. I'm like, what is gonna be my? And I was like taking a shower. I'm like, oh my god, wedding dresses. Like
That's
So I'm
so
glad
good.
you had
yes,
That was good.
that was solid. And Jocelyn, please fill us in on some news and gossip. I know you got something for us.
Yes,
Enlighten
I
us,
was
darling.
on the Googles looking for some tea. And so the ladies of Dragnificent, they've been doing their press runs and they sat down with ATV and was talking about why everyone should try drag. And pretty much what they said is that it's really freedom. When you are in drag, it's a freedom of expression and everyone deserves that freedom. They also touched on just how this show really tackles making sure that everyone has a seat at the table. And it's just so
Heck yeah.
fabulous seeing them all together. They each were also talking about, what they bring. We didn't get to see Thorgy Thor, because it says she's music and entertainment. And I was wondering, I was like, where is the music? But it was because it was a wedding, so they focused more on the event planning, which that's BB's area. Thorgy is actually a classically trained violinist, and we will get to see her incorporate that in future episodes. And then we got to, Alexis is beauty and makeup, hair and makeup, and Jujubee is fashion. So they touched on just their expertise in each field, but more about why everyone should try drag, and it's to tap into your inner freedom, which we all deserve.
yeah.
Especially now that we're confined in our homes, we're just like,
Right.
get out in some way.
Why just let that freedom
Nothing
out?
else to do. Throw those lashes on.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
I literally was like
I'll
sitting in
right
my
now.
room the other night. I found an old shirt and I was like, I haven't worn this in like 8 years. I put it on and I like got dressed. I was like, oh, this is what I'm wearing when the day I can go back out. I literally put it was like 3 a.m, put on a full outfit. It was like, I just want to go out.
Didn't you, Cody, say that your neighbor is a drag queen?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I have a new neighbor that moved in maybe like 2 months ago. They live in the building next door. My window faces their window upstairs.
Oh my
And
God.
it's Silky. Silky from Drag
Oh,
Race.
yeah.
Oh my
Lives in
God.
my next
Love
neighbor.
her.
Wait, Silky Nutmeg Ganache?
And she's so sweet.
No freaking way.
She's such the first night, like because she's very loud.
Of course.
And
Yeah.
so the first night I actually was like, what is going on? My neighbor is like screaming. And I recorded on my Insta story, and then someone commented, was like, oh, is that Silky? I was like, oh, I don't know. And then I ended up talking to her from our respective windows. And I was like, oh.
Oh
what's up,
my
girl?
God. When this is over, I am going to your house because I have to meet Silky. I'm
Yeah.
such a
Well, it's so
fan.
funny. We keep passing each other like on the sidewalk, and we're like, "You having a party? I wish you having a party. Yeah, you want to come over?" Like,
Well,
yeah, when this is all over.
she stole last season. Like last season was, of course, after Miss Vanjie went home. It was the Silky show. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Awesome.
that.
But
I was
you
gonna
guys,
put up a photo.
yeah, right.
I know.
I'm so excited about this show. I did not realize. I mean, I was excited to like sign up for it, but didn't realize what we were getting ourselves into. And I'm so stoked for the next few weeks to unfold and see where we're going.
Yeah.
And I mean, do you guys have any like last things you want to like throw out that maybe you wanted to touch on?
Predictions?
Yeah, tell me, what do y'all think's gonna happen?
I think that
And
we
now,
are going to
your
see
AfterBuzz
someone
TV
like an older family member cause some drama with the queens because they'll be confronted with their old school.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I want the queens to serve it. Like,
Yeah, shut it down.
I love a classy read. I love a classy read where they can't even get offended because you're not getting like disrespectful. You're just like reminding them, like, no, you're ignorant. You know, like, so I want to see a little of that. You know, I live for the shade, so.
Yes. I hope to see more drag race queens, like just as like cameos. That'll be so
Oh,
fun as
yes.
well. Like I said, I love the four. They're like such a perfect pairing. You can already see the chemistry on screen between the four of them. So it'll just be so fun to see. Like, I know Jujubee and Raven are very good friends, so that'll be a fun thing to bring in, and just having all the different queens to just bring more like fabulosity and like drag race love, because it's so good.
Oh, yes.
I don't know, because I don't even know what to expect from like, it was news to me that Thor could possibly be doing, or she is doing something with musically, so I think, as a prediction in general, that the show will become tighter in the sense of their roles will be better defined, like more defined, so I'll know I was a little lost in who's doing what, but I loved everything, so maybe they're going to become close, tighter in that regard, and I think we're going to just more and more tears and more people that break our hearts in the best way possible. So, because everything else is beautiful, and I really do love the show, and the recipe is perfect. So, yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah.
I think we're going to tighten
love
up in
it.
those areas. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all. I think
Love
you
it.
guys, you nailed it. Like, I think we're gonna see all these things. We're gonna see things we love, things we hate. I think obviously we all love this community, but not everybody does, and I think we're gonna see some, I don't want to say backlash, but some haters gonna hate, and so and then we're gonna see how it's dealt with and how we move forward and just continue to be our fabulous selves.
Right.
Yes.
So before we sign off, y'all, like, please tell the viewers where they can find you.
I'll go first. So you guys, no. So you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Not Your Type. That's NOT_YUR_TYPE. A diamond baker
Yes.
for Addie. Yeah.
Love it. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at @VBrianSantos, and also on AfterBuzz TV's Quarantine with the Stars.
I love Brian. You can follow me at Jeroslyn Diva, JEROSLYN Diva. That's on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. At a 08 on Twitter, but it's pretty much the same.
And I am on Instagram as Cody Epp, CODYYYEPP. I'm also on Twitter as Cody_Epp, but I'm not there very often. But yeah, thank you all so much for talking with me and us and just having it out. I can't wait to see more of this show, and I can't wait to keep chatting with y'all about it.
Yeah. Shout out to the live chat too. Triple X, Double X, and Joseph Boza. Thank you guys for being with us.
Yeah.
Thank you. Woo!
Yes.
Stay
All right,
safe.
stay fabulous, y'all.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.